Hi everyone. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the BridalLive client portal. There's so much that the portal can do to make your shop more profitable and easier to operate. So I'm going to go ahead and show you in our account what the client portal is going to look like inside of BridalLive. So your settings, the look and feel, kind of all of those things where you can customize it to your store. And then I'll also show you exactly what the client portal is going to look like from the bride side and a bridesmaid or a party member side. So let's go ahead and take a look at the settings inside of BridalLive. So once you do have the client portal enabled, you're going to be able to go to settings. Underneath company, you'll have a new field called client portal. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And the first thing you'll notice is we have this blurb at the top of our page. You can always, rely on your account manager to ask questions. You can call them, schedule a call, or email questions. You can do that by clicking the question mark in the top right by your name and clicking on Contact Us. That will show you who your account manager is and how you can get in touch with them as well. We also have where you can click on the client portal setup guide, and this is going to take you to the table of contents for the client portal. And this is going to be just a big generic spot where you could get all of your questions answered about the client portal. So anything that you do have questions about, you can look a little more specific into the help articles here. So let's go back to BridalLive. You'll notice that the first place we're taken to is our features. These are the main menus of the client portal. You see that you have a checkbox next to each one, so they can be turned on or off to allow you to be able to customize exactly what your customers are seeing when they go to your client portal. The first option is View Orders. This will allow clients to view all of their order history. Any voided orders will not show, and as well as you do have the option to hide any specific orders if you would like to do that as well. Next, we have Event Management. If you didn't do bridesmaids and you didn't have any party management in your store, then you may want to turn this off. It's up to you. If you want to be able to allow your clients to submit their measurements, you can leave this on or turn that off, as well as the lookbook. And this is going to be where you actually set it up in your BridalLive inventory. So you tell the lookbook what can be seen, what vendors, what departments, everything is very customizable. So if you don't want to use the lookbook at all, then you can turn that off here, as well as allowing customers to make payments, digitally sign their agreements, and on the timeline, the brides will be able to confirm or cancel their appointments. If you don't want them to use that, then you can turn this off. Pin enabled. This is just the feature that you can use to require your clients to enter a PIN number when logging into the client portal. BridalLive is going to generate the PIN for you, and it doesn't, as you see, it doesn't require any extra work on your part. But it could lead to brides saying, oh, I don't know my PIN, calling the store. So it's easiest to leave it off, but it's 100% up to you guys. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and jump to look and feel. You really get to get in there and customize your colors, your logo, your hero image down here at the bottom. You can, choose from lots of different fonts. And this is really going to allow you to add your specific touch to your client portal. So I'm just going to go ahead and update a logo. I know I already have a logo because I made sure I did before I jumped on this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and upload that. And it's really nice that this gives you an idea of exactly what your logo is going to look like. So if I chose a black here, under custom, I probably wouldn't want to do that because then you won't see my wording. So I'm going to go ahead and choose, I actually really like the blush color, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one. as well as, let's see which one. That's a nice one. And that's also nice. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. You can also update your greeting format here. So you could choose hi or welcome or choose to hide this. And you can update your greeting subtext. So if you wanted to say something besides, let's get ready for your special day. We are so excited to see you. You can update this to have, any wording there you want as well. You can also choose the main image that will be displayed on your client portal. So you can upload your own using our guide here, or you can choose from some of the other options we have. We have a few that you can choose from. I'm going to go ahead and stick with our main one here and just go ahead and save my changes. So you can really get in here and get super customizable and customize, to the color that's on your website. Or if you send out some email templates, you can customize to those. It really gives you that chance, like I mentioned, to make everything look just how you want it. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to our event management. These are the steps to build your wedding party ordering process. This is going to be how your bride is going to really work for you. So she's going to send reminders to her bridesmaids, to her party members, to go ahead and do the things that you in the store have a hard time getting them to do. Some of those out-of-town bridesmaids, getting them to submit their measurements, having some of those bridesmaids make their final payment or make that deposit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Install Default Event Management Steps. And these are just the default steps that come with BridalLive. Feel free to customize these, exactly to your liking. Get in here, add a step, delete a step, whatever works best for your specific store. This is just the order we came up with that seemed to be pretty standard and generic for most operating procedures. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK here. All right, so when we enable the client portal, BridalLive is actually installing a bunch of new templates for you. Email templates and SMS templates if you do use the integrated text messaging company Twilio. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit next to my Submit Measurements. And you'll see you can change the name here. That's editable as well. And this says step is completed when measurements request submitted or measurements saved to contact. So that's when this step will be marked completed. And I'm going to choose my email template as measurements request client's choice. That means when the bride sends the reminder to the bridesmaid or the party member, it will pop up and ask them to choose dress or tuxedo. This allows you to really make the client portal generic. So if you had it set to dress here, if the bride went to remind a tuxedo or a groomsman, it's going to send him the dress measurements, and you wouldn't want that. If you don't do tuxedos, then you're probably totally fine picking dress here. But I'm going to go ahead and leave mine as client's choice. And I'm not actually using Twilio in this account. If you were, your text message templates would show up here as well. Go ahead and save and close. For place an order, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to choose my email template, Client Portal, Place Your Order. And again, you don't have to worry about adding any of these Client Portal email templates. BridalLive will do that automatically once you enable the Client Portal. Make a deposit right here. So this is the step when at least one payment has been made. If you require a full 100% deposit for bridesmaids, then you may want to delete this. If you don't, then you can add the reminder for either a payment request or a payment and signature request, whichever one you prefer. If you're using the digital signature, this is definitely a great time to use that. And then our last step is pay final balance, and that is completed when that order is paid in full. So let's go ahead and add I'm just going to add the payment request on this one because I've already made her sign my sales agreement on that initial deposit. So I'm going to save and close here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump over now to our client notifications. This area is completely optional. It is a great way to go ahead and keep fostering the engagement with the bride. You know, always sending those emails and those text messages, it's bringing them back to the store constantly, keeping you in communication with them, knowing that you're right there to help them when they need it. What the client notification does is it sends a notification to the customer anytime that the contact's update request was approved, event update was approved, the event registration, or the measurements request. This will go ahead and anytime they submit those updates to you in BridalLive, once you approve those, it'll go ahead and kick off the email and or the text messages that you've assigned here. So I'm going to go ahead and select Client Portal Request has been approved. Same as the email template here. And you know, keep in mind that you can always duplicate these email templates and really customize them just exactly to how you like it. So you could have this say, Client Portal event registration has been approved, and you could make that email template say, thank you for updating your event registration. We have approved it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Call us. You know, we're always happy to answer any of those questions. So, you know, you can really get down to the nitty-gritty of customizing exactly what you want. All right, so I'm just going to save those. And you'll see I have all the same one set here in email and text. It's just a placeholder, and it really does just say your request has been approved. So if you want to use this one, totally fine. If you want to customize it, also totally fine. All right, so let's go ahead and now jump over to our Advanced Settings tab. Okay, so this tab is what is going to allow you to really control some of the things on the back end of the client portal. So you can hide a breadcrumb, which shows the secondary navigation. We can talk about that when we jump over to viewing the client portal. You can hide that hero image and greeting if you don't want to use that. You can hide the timeline, can hide the make a payment button, hide product images on the My Orders page. The main thing I believe that's going to be used on this advanced settings page is really going to be this lookbook settings. So you can customize exactly how you want the lookbook to look. We can hide the item name if you don't want your customers seeing that. You can hide the vendor name, price, the designer search filter, the category, which is your department's search filter. You can hide price, silhouette. Defaulted to be on is the hide customer's ability to view add notes to favorites. And you can turn this on if you want. It's what allows customers, when they make a favorite, to add notes, and it will come into your favorite notes. This will also be the opposite. So if you add a note in BridalLive under their favorites, they'll be able to see that as well. You can also choose to show in-stock items only. So if you wanted to, in your lookbook, show only everything in your BridalLive inventory that has an in-stock number greater than 0, you could check this and the lookbook would reflect that as well. If you don't want to show the measurements guide, so the image that says measure here for waist, things like that, you can choose to hide that. You could also choose to show a gender neutral measurements guide for dress and tuxedo. And you can update your measurements help text. So if you have a help text that you would like to be displayed, you could put that in here. This field is also fully HTML capable. So if you do know HTML, you could add a link out to your page with sizing charts or, you know, anything that you wanted to. If you have a grand measurements, you know, agreement, you could put that link in here as well as in your measurements agreement. And this would make them check it before they're allowed to submit those measurements. So I'm going to go ahead and add some text in here. Please submit measurements below. And then all right, so I'm going to go ahead and save my client portal preferences. Now, I think we're ready to go ahead and jump into exactly what our client portal is going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and add a contact in my system. I'm just going to add my own name here. I'm not using Twilio, but this is where you can opt them in for text messaging. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save and close my contact and open that contact up. Once you've added a contact in BridalLive, their access to the client portal has already been created. You can open their link here if you were using this in the store, or they could access the portal by, let's say, requesting measurements from this bride. So I'm going to go ahead and go to measurements and select request measurements. I'm going to select my email. I know that she is going to be ordering a dress, so I'm just going to go ahead and select dress here and hit send. And this email came to me, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up in my email account. And you'll see this is the email asking me to submit my measurements. And here we are on the client portal measurements page. I'm just going to go ahead and enter in some test measurements here. And you'll see our help text and the measurements agreement that I have to check and hit submit measurements. And my measurements were submitted. So let's go ahead and go back to BridalLive. And BridalLive will pull in new notifications about every 5 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and refresh our internet browser to pull those in. And you'll see I have a new portal notification here. Let's click on our measurements and you'll see all of those. And I could go ahead and hit copy to contact. And this will allow me to save those to the contact. And I just got a new email saying that my measurement request has been approved. So that's great to know. And when we go back to BridalLive, we may want to, now that the bride has access, she's submitted her measurements, so now she can go back to the dashboard and view the lookbook if she would like. We can actually go ahead and make sure we have all of our items set to view on the lookbook. So if I wanted to show all of my Allure bridal items on the lookbook, I could show all, select my top checkbox, go to change lookbook visibility, show on lookbook, yes. If I wanted to make sure my essence designs, I have these already set to show on the lookbook, but let's say I wanted to remove them. I would check this, book actions, do not show on lookbook. So that way you'll be able to see all of my Allure and none of my essence on the lookbook. You can also decide which vendors you want to be able to see in your filter criteria. You can update that individually by saying enable designer filter on lookbook. Same with departments. If you go to inventory, search departments. We could choose if we want bridal gown, enable category filter on lookbook. And let's say we wanted to show bridesmaids as well. We could choose that. So now let's go ahead and act like we are the bride looking at our measurements. So let's go back to our dashboard and we can go ahead and close out. Maybe I'm not ready to register my event, but I want to look at my lookbook and kind of favorite some items here. Just going to go in and favorite a couple of these dresses. If you see any of our changes we made, so if I wanted to show only Allure, we could do that. Same as category, bridal gown. I know there's no bridesmaids there, so once I click on that, they're all gone. So We can show that. You can search by price as well as silhouette. So if I wanted to show my A-line dresses, could choose that, and I can also see my attributes here as well. When we go back to BridalLive for this contact, let's go ahead and open up that contact. And we go to our favorite screen. You'll now see all of the items that she favorited are now showing up under her client portal, and she'll see those under favorites as well. If, let's say, she came in and she tried on 8526 and 8800, let's say she really loved this one. These are the notes that could show on the client portal if you wanted those to be displayed. When we refresh our lookbook screen, you'll see that this one now has a tried on banner, meaning she's tried this one on. She'll also see that when she goes to her home page. She's tried these two on. Okay, so let's jump back over into BridalLive in our bride's favorites. We're going to go ahead and create a special order for item 8526 from our favorites here. I'm going to go ahead and add in a color. Let's say I want this to be white and size 8. All right, so I'm going to select my item here and go to create special order. And we can go ahead and process our smart flows as well. The great thing about creating a special order from the favorite screen is it does pull in all of the item information, the contacts information, and it does that super easy right from the favorite screen. So let's go ahead and request a payment as well as a sales agreement signature from our bride. So I'm going to go ahead and hit payments. If it defaults to 100%, then that means in your BridalLive settings, you have it to default to 100%. If this is 50% or if you want to update that, that's in your settings. Let's just go ahead and request a $500 payment. Yes, I want to require sales agreement. Yep, default is fine. My delivery method is email. If I had my Twilio set up, I could decide on using a text message as well. And yes, I want to send the payment and signature request. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send there. And I know this is going to go ahead and pop over to my BridalLive account. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see. There's our new email. It says make a payment and sign sales agreement. So let's go ahead and click on our client portal. And I have a test card here. Going to fill out all of the credit card information. Then BridalLive is going to say next. And that's going to go ahead and pop me over to sign the sales agreement. All right, so let's go ahead and sign our sales agreement here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit sign and accept. And you'll see that we've successfully made a payment and signed our sales agreement. You can see the image of the item you're ordering as well as color, size, subtotal, sales tax, payments made, and the balance due. So let's go ahead and refresh our BridalLive screen and I'll show you what those notifications look like. All right, so we have our signed sales agreement and our payment submitted. If we click on the $500, it'll take us to the special order, which we're already on. And you see the payment was made. If you're using Charger Pro, you'll have your approval code here, as well as you can see the signed sales agreements on the special order. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss our notifications here. Next, we want to go ahead back to our client portal and let our bride register her wedding party members. That's going to be where she can add her bridesmaids, her groomsmen, junior bridesmaids, anyone she really wants to add in there. That way, she's going to help the store by sending those reminders that you set up in the event management. So we know this is going to be a wedding. A lot of times you would already have this information in your account. So let's just go ahead and fill this out. And let's go to the next page and we want to add a member here. Bridesmaid. I'm going to go ahead and use my email address so we can see what those emails look like that the bride's going to send over. All right, go ahead and save our member and go next. And this page just gives you all of the information that you've entered, and we can go ahead and submit to the store. Yes, I would like to submit. All right, now the best thing is we can come back to BridalLive and refresh. And you won't have to be doing this every time. BridalLive's going to pull in those notifications for you about every 5 minutes. All right, so anything the bride changed. So if you already had her event date, time of day, gown budget, formality, none of this would be yellow. But if she did update something, then it would be highlighted yellow. And it looks like we have 2 new members that we need to add to our wedding party. You can click link if you know this person is already in your BridalLive system. I don't have either of these members, so I'm going to go ahead and hit add new. You can add any other info if you want to put them as a category for bridesmaids. Anything you guys use inside of BridalLive, you could do that there. Save and close. And I'm going to go ahead and hit update event information. And then we can go ahead, actually, let's click back to our bride and look at our event details and members, and you'll see we have 2 bridesmaids here. I want to go to the wedding registry and go ahead and register a bridesmaid's dress for these 2 bridesmaids. Let's see what we have. All right, perfect. And I know that they're going to be wearing the color blue. They're in different sizes, so I'm going to add that later and go ahead and register items and close. When we take a look at our client portal again, let's go ahead and refresh our screen. And you'll now see that in our event overview, we have 2 progress bars. And this is where that event management steps you set up is really going to come into play. You'll see that our next step is both of these bridesmaids need to submit their measurements. So we're the bride. Let's go ahead and remind our bridesmaid, Rachel Esposito, to go ahead and submit her measurements. So I sent my reminder. I'm going to pop over to my email and go ahead and open the please submit your measurements. So this is to our bridesmaids, Rachel. And let's go ahead and open that up. And she's going to be doing a dress. Let's just enter in some test measurements here. Yep, I've read and accept the measurements. Okay, great. So this is our bridesmaid, Rachel. And you notice that on the dashboard, she can see she's in Lindsay's event. If she goes to my event, she's not going to be seeing the mobile number or the email address from the other bridesmaids. She's only going to be seeing that bridesmaid's progress bar. If we go back to our bride's client portal and refresh our screen, you'll now see that the step to submit the measurements has been filled in by Rachel Esposito because she submitted her measurements. And if we look at BridalLive, we'll see that we have a new measurements request from Rachel. We can copy those. And let's go ahead and place an order for our bridesmaid, Rachel Esposito. Looks like she's going to be wearing a size 4. And let's go ahead and refresh our bride's client portal. And we'll see that she's placed the order. Now she just needs to make a deposit. And we can send our reminder to our bridesmaid to do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and open that from my email, and we can go ahead and make that payment here. And sign our sales agreement. Sign and accept. Now we can go ahead and go back to our dashboard, and you can see here that we've gone ahead and submitted our measurements, and we've paid off our full balance, which goes ahead and makes our progress bar completely full. So this is going to be a great way for your bride to really keep track of her bridesmaids and what steps they're in, what they need to be doing. You know, she's really going to be an advocate for getting all this stuff done in your store to really ease that process for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the portal, and if you have any questions, please let us know.